and welcome to another Lawn Fawn video. Today we are introducing our new set, Critters in the Arctic. It's the next in the Critter series, and of course it's got awesome coordinating dies to go along with it. So let's go ahead and stamp it out. First we have the awesome moose, I just love him. Then we have this great bunny with an adorable scarf, a snowy owl, a walrus, a narwhal, which I know you guys really wanted. We got lots of requests for one. A great little ice block that's fun for setting the scene. A beanie that fits on all of the different critters. A great heart. And some different size snowflakes so you can create your own snowy backgrounds. Here we've got a little splash sign for all of the water-dwelling critters here. We have a great sentiment, have an ice day, and it moose be love, let it snow, and smile. We also have an exclamation point to add to the end of your phrases. So now I'm going to add some color to all of these critters using my Copic markers. Here I'm using a white gel pen to add to the bunny's tail, and it really makes it look like he has a bright white cottontail. Here are the coordinating dies for this set. All you have to do at those little wire tabs is just bend them back and forth to break them apart and separate them. And then you can just line it up with the stamped image, and you'll see that the die fits perfectly right along that black stamped line. And you can hold it in place with some low tack tape. And here you can see all of these fun critters all cut out. And I just love this little beanie. I love that it can fit on all of the different critters. It's so cute. Here I've gone ahead and set up a little scene, and I've decided which of my stitch rectangles will be the perfect size. And now I'm going to die cut some light blue cardstock for the sky. And then I'm going to glue that beanie on top of the moose's head. and start creating my scene. So here you can see I cut with the same size rectangle a white piece, and I'm deciding where I want my forest border die to go, and then just shifting it over in place onto the white piece of cardstock. Now I'll stamp my sweet sentiment, and I can go ahead and adhere that forest border right on to my blue sky. Now I wanted there to be some more hills, so I did the same thing. I decided where it should be and then shifted it over. And you'll see that I cut it with the other side of the stitched hillside die, so it doesn't have the stitching on the top part of it. And that's so that it'll really match along with that forest border. And I can go ahead and just glue all of these on top of each other, and just those great little lines add some extra texture to the background that's perfect for placing my little critters into. And here you'll see that I'm just placing them with some foam adhesive just so they really pop against that scene. And now I'm going to go ahead and take some snow day paper. I thought that snowflake paper would be really fun, and just create a card base for my scene. Now here you're going to see, I decided I didn't really like that blue. It was kind of, I don't know, it was kind of boring. So I decided to look through my snow day paper pad, and I really love this teal color here. So what I'm going to do is just cut with that same exact stitched rectangle, and then I'm just going to trim off part of it, and I'm going to shove that pattern paper piece in there, and no one's ever going to know that I had originally put the blue in there. You know, it's okay to change your mind and kind of mess around with things, and I don't think anyone's ever going to be able to tell. And then I decided to use a different sentiment. So I'm going to use this Let It Sew sentiment. I just stamped it on a little banner that I hand cut, and with some foam adhesive, and I think this is a really cool holiday card. So here I wanted to show you a different card that I made with a similar layout. So I used the hillsides and the moose with the beanie, but I made it more Valentine's related and put those little hearts there from the hearts dies. And I love how it turned out, and I love with the same type of layout you can actually create a card for 2 different holidays. So here I have our Say Cheese die that I'm going to use on some sweater weather paper here that's going to go on top of this great navy wood grain card. And I want to create an ocean scene for my narwhal, so I'm taking one of my stitch scallop borders, but I'm actually going to cut it upside down. And you'll see here that the scallop part is there, but it almost looks like ocean waves there. And now I've cut that from 2 different shades of blue, and when I layer them together, you really get a cool ocean look. And you'll see here how well that narwhal is going to fit into those ocean waves. So now that I have the perfect placement, I'm just going to make a little tick mark so I know where to trim down my ocean waves. And then I'm going to create kind of a really light sky. So I'm using some tumbled glass distress ink and one of these little finger foam daubers. And then I'm going to use this little scallop piece that was left over from creating my waves to create some really airy looking clouds in the background. I just didn't want it to only be white in the background, but I also didn't want too much there. So this is a really great way to create a subtle sky whenever you're trying to maybe place a critter in a scene. Then I'm ready to adhere my ocean waves. And then I'm going to go ahead and do my best Nicole impression. I just love everything she does with vellum. So I got some vellum so that I could use some Versamark ink on it with one of these Chit Chat sentiments. I'm going to put some silver heat embossing powder on it and heat it up with my heat gun, and it is such a pretty look. I really need to use vellum more often. Now I'm just going to put some liquid glue on the back of my little Polaroid there, and then I can put my scene right in the perfect spot. And then I'll die cut my sentiment. And when I put it there, I thought it was a little bit too see-through. So I'm going to go ahead and die cut a white piece with that same die and just put glue behind all of the silver heat embossing so that it hides it. And then I can adhere those 2 together. I'm going to wrap some silver lawn trimmings twine around the bottom. I want this to be a masculine card, so I'm making it really simple. I'm just going to tie a knot, make it really clean and simple so that I know that I don't get too crazy with it and that it'll still stay masculine. I'll just tuck a little foam adhesive behind the narwhal's head. And then I can add my sentiment. I'll adhere with some foam adhesive, and then use my Wink of Stella clear pen just to add some fun glitter. So when I was making this card, I started thinking of that movie Elf, and I thought it would be so funny if the narwhal was actually saying, "Hey, buddy," instead of "Make a wish," because he talks to Buddy at the beginning of the movie before he goes to New York. Anyways, I'm using Harold's ABCs to spell out "Hey, buddy," and I thought it would be really funny for anybody that's an Elf fan, and so I'm just going to cover up that Make a Wish and make this into a really funny card. So hopefully that'll make somebody's day. And then here you can see all three of the cards. We have a snowy scene, a Valentine scene, and just a general card. So I love that you can take these critters and use them all year round. So this is Critters in the Arctic and its coordinating dies. I love these critters so much. They're so much fun. I love they can go from winter to Valentine's to just all year round. And I cannot wait to see what you guys create with them. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.